All right, thank you. So, can someone share the screen, please? Can you hear me all right, Mataji? Okay. Can you please share your screen, Mataji? Okay, don't worry. I'll share. Text. Text, yes, but that's okay. I can get it. Okay, all right. If you can do it, please go ahead, Mataji. I'm using two screens. That's why we have to deal with these technical things. So today we are seeing Canto 3, the status quo text. Sorry, the chapter 30, Canto 3, chapter 33, text 4, activities of Kapila from the status quo chapter. So I'll just get the verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, thanks, Mataji. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhitreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhagavati Naishtaki. Alright, so I'll just read the text. Sa, that very person. Tvam, you. Vrataha, took birth. Me Jatarena, by my abdomen. Natha, O my Lord. Katam, how. Nu, then. Yashya, of whom. Udare, in the belly. Etat, this. Asit, did rest. Vishvam, universe. Yugante, at the end of millennium. Vadapatre, on the leaf of a banyan tree. Ekaha, alone. Sayatesma, you lay down. Maya, possessing inconceivable powers. Susuha, Susuhu, yeah, baby. Angry, your toe. Panaha, licking. Okay, I'll read the verse. Satvam vriddho me jatare nanata. Katam nu yashyo taraye tadashit. Vishvam Yugante Vadapatrayekah Sete Shmamaya Sisurangriparanah. Okay, so I'll just read the text fully one time. Satvam Britume Jatare Nanata Tatam Yashyo Daraye Tadashit Vishwam Yugante Vadapatrayekah Shete Shmamaya Shishurangripanah. Translation. Please repeat after me. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you have taken birth from my abdomen. O my Lord, how is that possible for the Supreme One, who has in his belly all the cosmic manifestation? The answer is that it is possible for at the end of the millennium, you lay down on a leaf of a banyan tree, and just like a small baby, you lick the toe of your lotus foot. Translation and interpret by Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Now, anyone wants to read the text? Just Sanskrit? Maybe a couple of times. One from Mataji, one from Prabhuji, please. Shatam Bratam me Jatare Nanata. Kat Satvam Bratame Jatare Nanata. Katam Nayashyo Daraye Dasi. Vishwam Yugante Vadapatrayekah Shete Smamaya Sishurang Gripanah. Thank you. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दर्शेन अनञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददासि स्वपदातिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं शाक्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं विदं तं च जीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण रघुनाथपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रशांत निर्विशेषोन्युवाद पाश्चात्य देशानि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास्ति गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Just read the purport. At the time of dissolution, the Lord sometimes appears as a small baby lying on a leaf of a banyan tree, floating on the devastating water. Therefore, Devahuti suggests your lying down with the abdomen of a common woman like me is not so astonishing. You can lie down on the leaf of a banyan tree and float on the water of devastation as a small baby. Therefore, it is not very wonderful that you can lie down in the abdomen of my body. You teach us that those who are very fond of children within this material world and who therefore enter into marriage to enjoy family life with children can also have the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the child. And the most wonderful things is that the Lord himself licks his toe. Since all great sages and devotees apply all energy and all activities in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, there must be some transcendental pleasure in the toes of his lotus feet. The Lord licks his toe to taste the nectar for which the devotees always aspire. Sometimes the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself wonders how much transcendental pleasure is within himself, and in order to taste his own potency, he sometimes takes the position of tasting himself. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, but he appears as a devotee to taste the sweetness of the transcendental mellow in himself, which is tasted by Srimati Radharani, the greatest of all devotees. Hare Krishna. So I'm sorry, my voice is broken, so please bear with me. Now, this translation is very interesting. So the question is asked by Mother Devahuti, and she herself answer to it. So the prayers, we know in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many prayers. So we see from chapter 1, Canto 1, starting from Srila Vyasadeva, we see that Arjuna's prayers, same Canto 1, chapter 7, and then Queen Kunti's prayers in chapter 8, and then Bhishma's Stuti, and then ladies of Hastinapur prayers, and then Sukadev Goswami prayers, Kardama Muni, Devahuti, Dhruva, Prithumagaraj, Vrtrashura, Chitraketu, Prahlad, Gajendra, and then Satyavarta, demigods, and gopis, and Indra, and Krura, Muchakunta, Rudra, Vedas, and so on. So many prayers we see in Bhagavatam, and definitely we can get help of it whenever we feel down. We can always refer to any prayers that is relevant to our situation, and then we can just echo the prayers, and we don't have to reinvent the wheels. We just can reuse the same prayers. And with Devahuti's prayers, a little similar to Mother Kunti as well. So she also was bewildered by the fact how Krishna is so inconceivable. This Acintya power, this Acintya Sakthi, or inconceivable power of Lord Krishna, is astonished and not astonished at the same time by the devotees, because it's astonished because they appreciate the greatness of the Lord, how Krishna himself tells his greatness by telling, you can see me in the taste of the water, and the heat and the fire, and so on and so forth. Similarly, they become astonished by seeing the greatness of the Lord, but at the same time they are not astonished because they know the greatness of the Lord is so great, therefore there is nothing greater than him or equal to him. Nahi ashya varshamanaha pumsham. No one can be richer or famous or stronger or more beautiful or more renounced than Krishna. We know that. Like the cobbler and Narada Muni story, we all know that. So how Narada Muni comes back to cobbler and tells that when cobbler was asking what Narayana was doing, then Narada Muni said that, well, he was putting the elephant into the eye of the needle. And then cobbler was not surprised, or rather he said, wow, how great is my Lord. Narada Muni was asking, are you not surprised or astonished? And cobbler said, no, I'm not, because I know Krishna, Narayana can do anything. And when he can put a little seed of banyan tree, in little pot, then why can't he put the elephant in the needle of, eye of the needle? So therefore, devotees, astonished and not astonished at the same time. You can experience yourself when you go out for book distribution how there are so many inconceivable feats take place by the mercy of the Lord. So even in my recent experience, not very big or anything, it's very simple situation. I received a call from newcomers to the temple. When they come to the temple, they call me, so I go and meet them and greet them, give them some prasadam. So when they did, I took them some books as well, Bhagavad Gita and some other books on chanting beads and bags. So when they were sitting and doing their prayers, and I was waiting. And when they turned back, I told them, "You continue with your prayers. I have some books for you to give you, especially Bhagavad Gita." And this is the second time I'm meeting them. So they said, okay. And then we finished their prayers. They came to me. I gave them prasadam, and I started speaking about the books and chanting beads and bags. They were just almost in tears. They said, we came today because we got some success in our life, in our career or something like that. And also, we had a dream, like my husband had a dream last night about receiving a book, Bhagavad Gita, and a big book, and he was opening and reading. And now you're giving me the Bhagavad Gita. So this is so astonishing. And I said, no, this is not astonishing, because Krishna can do anything. He can do any miracle. So you wanted it, you had the desire, you had a dream, now you got it. So simple things like that. It's not, as I said, it's not a big situation or big accomplishment or anything, but it's a simple stories in our simple lives, bring so much faith and humility in our lives. So that's very important. And you see, I don't know if you have heard of the story, the not the story, but the song of gratitude in South India. Again, please bear with my broken voice. Trying to sing a line or two. குறையொன்றும் இல்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா குறையொன்றும் இல்லை கண்ணா குறையொன்றும் இல்லை கோவிந்தா வேண்டியதை தந்திட வெங்கடேசன் என்றிருக்க வேண்டியது வேறொன்றும் எனக்கில்லை கண்ணா. There's another line also. கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் நிற்கின்றாய் கண்ணா கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் நின்றாலும் எனக்கு குறையொன்றும் இல்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா. So this song of gratitude written by I think someone called Ranga Gopalachari or something, and he was a great politician, governor or something like that, and he wrote this song of gratitude. Usually, if you see the songs that is written for the Lord. Any Lord in India, they write the songs for Devi Devadas also, correct? So when they do that, they always ask for something, generally speaking, or say that you will do this, protect this, or please protect me for this, protect me for that, like that. There is Kanda Shashti Kavacham. There is a prayer to Lord Kartikeya. Shashtiye noka sharavana bhavana. So there it comes also. I can't remember the lines now, but if I start from the scratch, I will remember the lines. But it also tells you, you will protect me, my thighs, you'll protect my shoulders, you'll protect here, using your this whatever the weapons he has. So he will tell the song will go like that. And but this song, Kurayandru Millai song, it's very peculiar in one sense, because it's fully talking about um, I don't need anything, because you're giving me everything. So why do I need more? And you can't be seen by anybody. கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் நிற்கின்றாய். So we can't see you, Kanna, it's Krishna. But even though we can't see you, there is no complaint about it. There is no deficient. Everything is okay. Everything is perfect. So you only the great jnanis can see you. You're sitting, or so you're standing behind the screen, and only jnanis can see you. Or even if only jnanis can see you, there is no complaints, Krishna. So this is the song of gratitude by a common man, like you and I. So it's not a great acharya or anyone writing, but this is a common man writing. But of course, he must be an acharya when he has devoted, not devoted, but when he is writing a poem for Krishna, then we should follow that. But I don't think he's an acharya, like lived by an example as such. But the lesson we learn from this is how we should be grateful to the Lord every single day. I've told Vallabha a while back that you need to, by the way, Vallabha is my son, 80 years old, and I've told him every day you need to write down what you're grateful for to you, to Krishna, to Srila Prabhupada, and to your parents. So every day I want you to write that. So he asked, Mommy, it has to be new and different. I said, no, if it is the same thing you're grateful for, you can repeat. However, every day you should be feeling grateful and repeat that in writing so that you'll remember for your life. So for your lifetime, I want you to do this. So even to ourselves as well, we should think about, meditate on Krishna and how grateful he is, how inconceivable he is. And this prayer of Devahuti, this prayer started from the last verse, and she is telling here about Vadapatra Sai. Vadapatra means that is banyan leaf, and how he is laying down on the banyan leaf. If he can lay down on the banyan leaf, why can't he lay down in my stomach, in my abdomen, right? And and Mother Queen also, Queen Kunti also prays when the death personified, fearful personified, is even fearful of you. Like that she prays. So everything, the inconceivable potency of the Lord, this Acintya Sakthi of the Lord, is contradictory also. You know how we have yesterday Mukunda Prabhu also bringing the points from Ishopanishad, like you're near and you're also far. You're within and you're also without. So that's exactly what Queen Kunti also speaks or prays. So you're within and without. So we know Paramatma inside is guiding us, giving us that instinct. When the newborn baby is born, who tells the baby? This Prabhupada tells this one time. Who tells the baby to go suck the milk from the mother's breast? No one, but the baby knows exactly where to get the milk from. It's just brand new baby. No one has told anything to the baby yet, right? The baby didn't go to the school or anything how to, you know, drink milk, but it automatically does it. And the ants automatically go to the sweet, the sugar particle. If you have a little sugar piece, it will go exactly there. It doesn't get distracted anywhere else, just go there. And these are the things, the wonders of the Lord. We don't have to go that far, even simple as like how our stomach gets digested, the food gets digested, not the stomach gets digested, the food gets digested in our stomach, right? And every part of our body has presiding deities who looks after, and Krishna has arranged in such a way we carry the demigods and Paramatma within our heart as well, right? And that is why I was giving a class last Sunday to ISKCON Girls Forum on overcoming psychological distress in Bhakti. So this is something, a topic of my interest personally, to do in my upcoming PhD in psychology. But this topic I took just to get this, get the essence of it, not essence, but just the preliminary research on it, like how and what we can do about it. So in that, I was pointing out the fact that about the self-care and being compassionate to oneself and take care of a body, because it's a temple to serve the Lord. So most of the time we disregard that, right? We say the one thing is taking care of the body is not just that you go to the gym or something, you do some exercise. Not just that, eating as well. Eating what you eat every meal, entire day and 7 days a week, what do you eat? And too much prasadam is also not compatible with our stomach, correct? Like as in Mahaprasadam. And that's something we need to, not about Mahaprasadam I'm talking about, but the food is something we should be aware of, what we put into our mouth, what we become, right? So we have to be careful of eating pattern as well. And taking care of our own self means drinking enough water, and especially you're working with a computer all day, making sure you hydrate your eyes all the time. Simple things like that. And then you get some exercise, standing table, standing desk, walking during the lunch break, japa walk probably, or something like that, fresh air, engaging with other devotees, like-minded devotees. So these are the simple things will keep us alive in this material existence. So Ekadasi is something, because I'm coming from Melbourne, if you go to any Ekadasi, I mean, if you go to any devotee's house on Ekadasi, which I have never been, but I only heard and seen, the food will be opulent. Okay. So, see, again, don't feel offended when I talk about things like something like this and think I'm just judging someone, or no, just let's try to take some lessons rather than thinking, oh, this is offensive, not offensive. No, we know what is the truth in our lives. So we take what we needed to take, like honeybee, and just ignore what you don't need to take for your life lessons. So I'm very young in terms of bhakti, and by age also, I'm not very old. That means I don't have much experience, but whatever I'm learning, I'm seeing, I'm hearing, I'm just sharing. Please don't feel offended. So when we see Ekadasi Prasadam is opulent, is that correct? Are we not supposed to fast? See, again, it's not just for the hearers, it's for myself also, because I'm also hearing what I'm talking. So whatever I'm telling, it's lesson for my own self also. Don't think I'm just a Paramahamsa. Of course, you know I'm not a Paramahamsa, but I'm just saying when someone says something, that means they have to be in that level to tell you. Otherwise, they're not fit to tell you, correct? But in bhakti, we will not reach that perfectional stage yet. That means we can never share anything. So please bear with the speakers when they tell something that they thought that's appropriate, and applying in your life or not, it's personal choice, right? So with this, again, coming back to Ekadasi, scientifically, it's proven fasting from a regular food pattern is good for our stomach, because um, for this much size of the stomach, why do we need to eat too much, right? I'm telling to myself also. So especially for Ekadasi, it just detox the body. When it detoxify the body, it gives you refreshing energy, rejuvenating energy, right? Myself, I have never done the fasting from even water. Okay, that's my thing. Yesterday I was trying to fast for as long as I could, but I started feeling dizzy and upset, and I wasn't in the right stage of uh, functionality. I was drowsy and everything. So that's me, right? But someone would just fast from even from water for the entire day and keep going. So from individual's capacity and individual's ability, practicality, one would need to do bhakti. But we know that I have a capacity, but I'm still not trying. Then we will know that. We will come to know that, because Paramatma inside the heart will tell you, guide you, inspire you that, well, you're not doing enough. And we can do more. When we go to the standards of how the devotees in India follow compared to the Western world, because I'm coming from India, I've been to ISKCON temple in India, especially one particular temple where I'm close in the sense that is geographically close as well. Um, the standard is so high. They say that they follow what Prabhupada says. We all do that, but there are differences. So we are not here again comparing one temple to another. No, again, we try to learn the lesson from it, what we can do in our bhakti, because the bhakti is individual and voluntary. It cannot be imposed by somebody. We can only get inspiration, but it cannot be imposed. Sometimes we feel offended. Uh, how can they talk about like that? But well, why do you take it personally? So everything is generic here. The bhakti is given how to do bhakti. That's what Kapila Muni is saying, how to do bhakti, how to execute devotion. And Krishna is telling to Arjuna as well, and to Uddhava also. So there is so many learnings that we can take from the acharyas, from Krishna himself and the devotees, how can we do better in our bhakti. There is always room for improvement. If there is always room for improvement in material things, why can't there be room for improvement in spiritual things? Correct. So we can sit down and introspect ourselves every day, if not at least once a week or at least once an Ekadasi, once a fortnight. Am I doing enough in my bhakti? When Narada Muni meets kings, what he asks, how is your bhakti going? Right? This should be our question to probably to the other devotees, but sometimes the other devotees might get offended. Who are you to ask me about that question? Why do you care? You know. So it depends on your relation. It depends on your relationship. You ask or not. That's up to you. But generally speaking, asking ourselves, sitting and asking ourselves, are we doing enough? In Western world, we have all the comforts, but in India, it's not like that. So therefore, here the simplicity doesn't come naturally. Yesterday also Prabhu was talking about something, and I was also bringing the point of simplicity. So simplicity needs to start from within first, then it will manifest outside. So Ramananda Rai, were Governor General of Chennai back then. He had all the opulence, but he was simple, and Goswami is also, right? And if we have that mood and we follow in their footsteps and we have so much opulence, but we use or we are detached from it, that is great. If not, then we need to think about it. So there is this Gauranga Prabhu often tells this one. There are 8 elements we always strive for: Atma, body, and Sutta, Venjaya, wife, and Sutta, children, Dravida, money, and then what is this? Bandashya, the acceptance from the society, friends, relatives. And then you have this Rajye, that career progression, aspiration. So you have all of this. You're always working. You means we are always working towards it, working hard. And Prabhupada says we shouldn't be working like donkeys. He say that we shouldn't overdo it, we shouldn't be doing overtime and etc. That's Prabhupada, right? But sometimes we wanted to catch up with the debts of like finances or something. We spend some money on something, so we wanted to work a little extra so we get more money. Then we do that. That's again, it's personal choice how you want to do what you want to do. But this is what Prabhupada says. This is what Shastra says, right? We should only keep our soul and body together. For that purpose, whatever we need to do in the basic level, we have to do it. In one of my last classes also, I said this point that we work for who? For the next generation. And then the next generation will work for the following generation, and it will continue, right? And who enjoys the things that we earned, saved, possessed? Nobody, because everyone is busy working hard for the following generation. So no one is available to enjoy what we have. Maybe they enjoy a little bit, but not to the fullest, right? So this material conditioning. And yeah, think about it, do introspection on it, and see how we can improve. And if you have suggestions, you can also share with others what else we could do to improve ourselves. So hearing lectures to motivate us. For some people, they are into book distribution. For that, they want to listen more lectures from book distributional point of view. Some people are preachers, so some people are good at cooking prasadam for the deities. So similar to those interest, they can look into enhance their capabilities further to serve the Lord and devotees better. That's all. So that's simple as that. And just coming back here to the inconceivable potency of the Lord, here Prabhupada says one time in the lecture that, scientists, if you ask scientists about the water, how it is made, then they say to hydrogen and oxygen. But we know originally the water is coming from Krishna. Garbhodaka ocean, right? And when your body can perspire and and produce 1 ounce of water, then why not Krishna to produce from his perspiration the entire Garbhodaka ocean? So when someone asks question, this is how we should answer. This is what Srila Prabhupada's recommendations are. And there is, he was talking about 747 airplane. So Krishna is Anyo Aniyan and Mahato Mahiyan. So he is the smallest of the small and the greatest of the greater than the greatest, smaller than the smallest and greater than the greatest. So when they produce, when they manufacture 747 plane, that's great, that's fantastic. But if you go and ask them, can you make the plane of the insect size, miniature? Can you do that? They can't do it. That one functional one. Mm. So, but we always get puffed up with our material successes, saying I'm very successful. Where the success is coming from, by the way. Lord Indra was always addicted to the successes, and he was always insecure where someone else would take away his position. That was so much security that one could have, but Indra was exhibiting those qualities. From that we learn, not just think or undermine Indra's position, but just learn the lesson. We always need to learn the lesson, not to go analyze too much on other things, I suppose. Of course we can do it for purpose of learning more about it, but then we shouldn't be carried away from what we are supposed to learn. So our business, Prabhupada says, our business, because we are in this human body, we need to get back to Krishna, right? So if we continue to work hard and harder for our increasing our comfort level, and in the name of whatever Krishna consciousness, we know that, right? Paramatma will tell us, are we doing over killing ourselves, or are we doing just right? Because we never draw a boundary. Okay, we have to draw a line saying, okay, this is what I wanted to do. This is where I wanted to be at number of years, X number of years, or this is what I wanted to achieve. Because we don't have that higher purpose plotted out in a plan, in a time management plan. I'm not saying not everyone is doing it. I'm just saying here that some of us might not be doing that. So it's worth investing our time plotting a plan on what we wanted to achieve by X number of years in my bhakti, in my career. Because we devotees using our career to improve our bhakti or maintain our bhakti, right? So therefore, for that purpose, how that is serving the purpose, that we need to analyze, right? Quite frequently. We shouldn't be off the track. Sometimes the work itself is overbearing, like over killing us. That time we pray to Krishna, then it automatically what happens is Krishna will make such arrangements and will arrange us in a way that we can, we will get at something else. We will get some other opportunities. Because if our focus is to do bhakti in a peaceful manner, then we need to have peaceful atmosphere, environment. For that, if we don't have one, whether it could be relationship or could be the career, it could be friends, it could be the place, where we are living. Whatever it is, we pray to Krishna to make some arrangements so that we can improve our bhakti. Okay. And then what other things I want to talk about? Let me see. Sometimes God, Krishna, Lord, gives power to the devotees also, like how he, empowered Arjuna to kill the enemies, and how he empowered Bhishma to give the knowledge of Dharma to Yudhishthira Maharaj, the son of Dharmaraj. When Yudhishthira Maharaj was feeling so repentful, he was feeling sinful, he didn't want to go ahead with this enjoyment of conquering the kingdom, but rather he was just sitting and feeling so morose, and he said, "Oh no, I'm so sinful. I don't want to do it. I didn't want to do this, but I did it now that I'm the reason for the sons and husbands, the loss of sons and husbands for those women in the kingdom. And how can I enjoy the kingdom?" Then Krishna pacified him. Do we think that Krishna can't pacify him? When he pacified Arjuna to, you know, kill the enemies, can't he pacify Yudhishthira with the same reasons? Or he can tell, "Oh, go refer back to the Bhagavad Gita. I spoke to Arjuna." Can't he tell that? Arjuna is, I mean, Krishna is Supreme Lord. Of course, he can do whatever he wants to do. But as per his divine plan, he wanted to glorify Bhishma so that the Bhishma Stuti can come after that. But the knowledge from Bhishma can be passed on to Yudhishthira Maharaj. So everyone will glorify Bhishma, because Bhishma was in a position where he was in the opposite. He was with the opposite parties. So people might think him or consider him being in the opposite side. So to avoid those conspiracy, the speculation, Krishna wanted to make things right. So he, as if he couldn't pacify Yudhishthira, he inspired Yudhishthira to go to Bhishma. So again, Bhishma was here glorified, empowered. So this is Lord's concession. So he wanted to do that, right? We also see sometimes in time to time how in our lives also we have no idea how we did that. So most of the time, even in my work also, sometimes the job is given, it's brand new task. I have never done it in my life, and I have no idea how to get it done. I can't go ask them, because if I am in a position where it is expected that you figure out. So when I go and ask them, it looks silly. Um, so I can ask them what is your expectation, how the outcome should look like, but then I have to figure out the body of things. So I pray to Krishna, and then it just works out very well that Krishna gives us that intelligence within, and then you just get it done in no time and get recognized as well for the work you have done. But actually, who has done the work? Ultimate cause of everything is the Supreme Lord, right? So that's the thing. Mm. And interestingly, Prabhupada points out this song as well. Tava kara kamala varenaha Adbhuta Sringam. So Adbhuta. So Jayadev Goswami says that how it is contradictory. This Achinta Shakti, how it is contradictory. He was giving this example that the nail, we say lotus feet of the Lord, lotus foot of the Lord, lotus palm of the Lord, lotus fingers, lotus nails, everything lotus, right? Because it's so soft. So Krishna's um, body is so soft like lotus. That's what acharyas describe, right? And then all of a sudden, this ferocious nail pulling the intestines of Hiranyakashipu, how one would feel. Oh my God, this is bewildering. That's how a devotee would feel. But here he says that's Adbhuta, and you can be this and you can be that. And softly he is patting Prahlad Maharaj, but whereas here, Prahlada Dayine, but here he is with the nails, is killing a demon. So, and we know Krishna when he comes as in avatar form. Krishna is avatari when he comes in avatar form, or even Krishna comes himself as Krishna. Then we know there is a purpose. The main purpose is to inspire the devotees, or the devotees in the sense the people who are fortunate and have sukruti to go back to Godhead. So inspire them, attract them with his feet so that they can get back to Krishna. And when we make, and Radha Swami Maharaj says that when we do earthly mistakes that affects earthly body, but Krishna sees that sincere love and devotion within our heart. So therefore, we follow this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. And one time, different sampradaya Acharya approached, he's a great soul, had a great devotee from different sampradaya, but approached Radhanath Maharaj and said, I understand Veda and Abheda, but I don't understand Achintya. Hmm? That inconceivable nature. What is that? What is the conception, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's conception of that Achintya? So he approached Radhanath Maharaj and asked that question. So he explained. So Krishna reveals as per one's conception, he reveals. Ye yato mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajami aham. So, and Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhavaneti, Sabhyate. So, according to our conception, so if we don't want it to see the full picture of the Lord, Krishna will not reveal the full picture of the Lord. That's simple as that. One time, I think Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, he was approached by a disciple or some follower asking a question. Then he didn't answer it. And then he said, I'll tell you after if you would like to go help with the paraphernalia cleaning or something like that. This follower went ahead and did that. But during the course of time of cleaning, he got the information, he got the answer. It got revealed to him. So this is another thing. We need to serve the Vaishnavas, the Guru, Acharyas, because the inconceivable potency of the Lord will never be conceived by our limited knowledge unless the Acharya explained to us in the purports. How do we understand? When I read Bhagavad Gita first time, I was thinking, wow, this is so heavy. Why Prabhupada is talking like this? But when I associated with devotees, when I started having prasadam, attending classes regularly, I was thinking, this is great. This is how I should be able to understand. Unless he is this heavy, I would never be able to become serious about it. So that's why acharyas are chastising, um, when heavily chastising, um, when we get puffed up. One time, the book distributors, the disciples of Prabhupada, the book distributors, and they had achieved some good numbers or something. So they informed Prabhupada. So Prabhupada called them, and he had a chanting bag in his hands. And when they approached, they were expecting some compliments coming from Prabhupada, but instead he was talking about something completely irrelevant. He was just telling, "Oh wow, how good looking this chanting bag is, or this is so good. Picture of the painting of Krishna is looking nice, the beads are looking very beautiful." He was talking something irrelevant. So then they were pacified. Okay, so this is what Prabhupada is teaching us. So you don't get puffed up and expect the praise from others for your good doing. But with the problem with us is, right, when someone chastises or complains that you should have done this way, not the other way, then we take it as offensive. But whereas when they compliment it, we are happy. This is natural material conditioning, right? So trinada pisanichena. So when we know that we are not worthy of any honor, then we wouldn't worry about whether they compliment or complain about our work. So when there is a compliment, we pass it on to Guru and Krishna, because of course we didn't do anything. They inspired us. We got opportunity. We did that. And but we expect, right? So yesterday, or I think Shyamananda Prabhu mentioned in his Jagannath Snana Yatra class also, the name and fame will never leave us. Almost towards until we achieve Bhava Prema. So um, that name and fame, if someone says, oh, you have done a great job in your book distribution, please tell them how you did that. So we just become an instrument and just share the knowledge, but rather we get puffed up, then there is a problem. Krishna will immediately give us a slap, and then we don't do any good next time. We realize that. And then when someone says, oh, you have done a wonderful class, and they're like, oh yeah, of course I know, then again we fall down, right? So I mentioned this in the class also, when we offend Vaishnava, how Saubari Muni offended Garuda, then he fell down. He just got attracted to the fish's mating, and that's it. He was that much controlled with his senses, doing tapasya under the water in Yamuna river. But then just got attracted to those fishes, and then attracted to means attracted to the activity what fishes were doing, and then he wanted to get married as well. For a jnani and yogi, it is a very shameful act, right? But for us, of course, he is still like in an exalted position. But the only mistake he made was being offensive to the devotee of the Lord. And then he had to fall down. And Vishwamitra Muni as well. He wanted this thing, Vashishta Muni, what is that? Kamadenu. And he was a king, and then he became a Muni, and then Brahma Rishi, and then he became a devotee afterwards, after the association of the Lord. So we take holy name association, and then we do our bhakti nicely, and we just pray to the Lord that the faults will go away. Oh hey Vaishnava Thakur. That song talks about how Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings and prays that to get the mercy of the devotees who have the power to give Krishna to us, and to remove our 6 faults, the passion and the qualities, the bad qualities, then we can near Krishna. All right. All right. Thank you very much. I'll stop here. Hare Krishna. If any questions or comments or corrections.